Hi guys, welcome to Cake and It's Special with me, Lauren. This week I'm going to be showing you how I made a Cinderella cake. So here we go. To make this cake I have two 6-inch cakes and I have one 6-inch dome cake that I cut into 2 layers. I stack them all up using vanilla buttercream. I start carving around the edge of the cake. I'm not taking loads off, just neatening up the sides. Once I'm happy with that, I can then start my crumb coat. You've probably noticed that I use a small bowl to keep adding buttercream into. I do this so that I don't contaminate my big bowl of buttercream. You pull the crumbs out. When the crumb coat is done, I put the cake in the fridge for around 20 minutes and then add another layer of buttercream. I then take some white fondant with a circle cutter with a frilled edge and cut out a big circle and then cut out a smaller circle in the middle. I cut a line across so it becomes one long strip. I then take a cone sculpting tool in my petal pad and I start to ruffle up the edges. Once I've done that, I'm going to attach them to the cake. I don't want to go all the way around, just a section in the front. So I do one piece across the bottom of the cake and then at either end I do another piece going up. I'm doing this so that when I cover the rest of the skirt, it will give the illusion that she's actually holding her dress. Add as many frills as you want. I think I did a couple of layers just to build it up. The next thing I do is cover the cake in a layer of pale blue fondant. I've marked on the board where I have added the ruffles, so while I'm smoothing out the fondant I can lift up the blue to reveal the ruffles underneath on each side. I then end up going back adding more ruffles. I score some creases into the dress and then run my finger along them to soften them out. So now it's time to make the torso. I have some Renshaw's modelling paste that I have dyed with some Sugar Flare skin tone and I start with a big petal shape. I flatten a small section at the top for the chest and then leave a little space for the boobs and then flatten underneath as well. I use my fingers to pull out a neck and flatten her shoulders. I also pull in the waist a little. And I keep going until I have the shape that I want before cutting off the bottom of the torso. I then take a cake dowel and very carefully push it through the torso until it comes out the neck. I cut down the neck to where I want it to go. Next I cover the torso in a very thin layer of my pale blue fondant up to the chest. Wrap it around, attaching it with a little bit of water. You can always use your knife to neaten up any areas that you're not happy with. And then place it on your cake. Once it's in place, I can then go ahead and add the line up the front of the top. Cinderella has these thicker pieces of fabric either side of her dress. Does anybody know what these are? Why are they there? The way I do this is by taking some of my blue fondant and mixing in some white to lighten it up. I roll it out and place a layer of cling film on top before cutting out 2 circles, and then remove a small part for the waist, and then attach them with water. The reason I put cling film on top of the fondant before cutting out the circles is because it helps to give you that rounded, softer edge. I had to do the arms in 2 sections, so I add tyler's powder to my blue fondant to firm it up a bit, and then roll out a thin cord. I work in a wrist and then flatten the hand out, and then use my knife to cut out a thumb. I do an ever so slight indent for an elbow and attach this to the small piece of modelling paste at the top of the arm. Play around with the positioning until you're happy. I wanted mine to look like she was holding her dress. I then take some more of the lighter blue fondant and roll out 2 small pieces so that they are thinner either side and thicker in the middle, and then attach these to the shoulders for her straps. For the head, I take some more of my modelling paste and start with a ball. I run my finger across the middle and then use my thumb to work in the chin and work out where the eyes are going to go. I use the big side of my balling tool first, and then the smaller side to help create the eye sockets. I work in a little nose and then use a sculpting tool to create a mouth. Again, just keep playing around until you're happy. I then work in a hole under the head so I can place this on the dowel on the cake. Once the head is in place, I then fill in the eyes and the mouth with white fondant. I add some pink fondant for the lips. For her hair, I flatten out a piece of yellow fondant and push my balling tool into it to make a dimp for the head. Once the fondant is attached to the head, I work it up so that this becomes the bun on top of her head. I add 2 strands either side before adding a much thicker piece for the fringe. And then I use more of my blue fondant to add her a headband. And then paint in her eyes using a couple of different blues and a black food gel. I give her a choker necklace with fondant and then paint on her eyelashes and eyebrows, again using just my food gels diluted with a bit of clear food grade alcohol. The last thing I want to do is some shading with some rainbow dust. You guys don't have to do this is just something I enjoy doing. I find it gives things a little bit of an extra touch. I want to know, what is everybody's favourite Disney film? And also, do you prefer the newer Disney, like Frozen and Moana, or are you more old school Disney, like Snow White? I'm definitely more old school Disney, 100%. Okay guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to this channel. I bring you a new cake or cake topper every Wednesday at 5 PM GMT. So hopefully I will see you next week. Thanks guys, bye!